Welcome back to Winners and Losers, where we're looking at all the transfers from around the globe. Because guess what, Michael? The season is over.
Shock horror. I didn't even know that. And I'm sure you guys at home will be shocked as well to see these two jokers presenting today. Yes, it's not over. The hijacking is still taking place.
Indeed.
But don't worry, the boys are coming back from Russia shortly, so you will have them back in your lives.
Yes, but Michael, mate, who is our first winner?
Well, our first winner this week is Mohamed Salah. If you didn't already know, at the end of last week, he signed for Liverpool in a deal worth £35 million, rising to £39 million, which, if you didn't know already, means that he is Liverpool's all-time record signing. Very exciting times at Anfield. Salah coming back to the Premier League to prove himself after being rejected by Mourinho at Chelsea all that time ago. It does seem like a very long time ago now. Another Mourinho reject who came good later on, and he really has been smashing it for Roma the last couple of years. Last season, he got 15 goals and 11 assists in Serie A. That is one less league assist than Fabregas and Kroos managed. That is very, very impressive.
He's also one of only 8 players to get double figures in goals and assists. That is this last season in Europe.
That is very, very impressive. And even more impressive than that is how he compares to his new teammates. Since 2015, goals and assists total for Salah is 46, and that's more than Coutinho, who's on 33, Mane, who's on 35, and Firmino, who's also on 35. That is pretty crazy, considering he's coming into a team which creates for fun. Very excited to see what will happen there. Well, not personally, but it will be great to see in the Premier League. He provides another outlet of blistering pace down the flank, will probably take up that right side, and Mane move to the left, both flanking Firmino there. And with a central striker, maybe Origi will actually step in there, and obviously got Solanke as well. So lots of options for Liverpool. But Zach, what can he specifically bring to this Liverpool team in the next season?
Look, he will bring, firstly, Champions League experience. Liverpool are back in the Champions League since 2015, and before that they weren't in there for a while either. For a while now. But mainly, he hasn't been injured at all. Since 2012, he's only missed 17 games. Which is like literally insane, especially in the squad with Sturridge, Ings and Mane. This is like something they 100% need. But on top of that, he's also a player which will fit Liverpool so well. He's very much a Jurgen Klopp player. We've already mentioned his pace. You know, he's got great work ethic and a work rate. And on top of that, he will be able to fit in the
Gegenpress system. Yeah,
because I can't say the word so well. Like, it's Klopp's favourite one. But look, if there's one negative, it's will his price tag affect him? He didn't do that well at Chelsea, as we said. He struggled quite badly. The last time Liverpool bought a player for 35 million, it was Andy Carroll. So, you know, he could.
Slightly different players, though.
They are very much different players, and hopefully he will be, you know, in my opinion and in Michael's, he'll absolutely smash it. But what do you guys think? Will Salah be an absolute Jurgen flop, to use Michael's wording, or will he be an absolute success at Liverpool next season? Let us know in the poll right above my head, somewhere here. Click it. Tell us. Cool.
So now to our first losers of the week. We go to Italy, Juventus. Why is that, Zach?
The old lady looked to lose their 2 best fullbacks. First, Dani Alves seems to be going to City, and second, Alexandro seems to be going to Chelsea for 70 million euros. But I'm going to focus on Dani Alves. Michael will do Sandro. And anyway, look, Dani Alves is now 34 years old. That's quite old for a right back, considering how long he's been in the game as well. But Juventus should have been considering this, considering his age, like on how old he is. He was going to leave. He's going to retire soon. Anyway, he's probably got, what, 2 more years at the top? But the right back was an essential part for Juve in their Champions League final, reaching the Champions League final. He scored 3 goals and got 4 assists in 12 games in the competition, which is elite numbers for someone of his age. It's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The main problem now for Juve is who do they replace him with? Only getting a supposed £5 million of the fullback. That doesn't give you much in return. First, it was Hector Bellerin that he was touted as maybe a potential target for them, but Arsenal don't want to let him go to Barcelona. So why are they going to let him go to Italy? And Barcelona was his boyhood club, so why would he want to leave? The next is maybe a more realistic target. Your boy, Darmian at Manchester United. The 27-year-old has had quite a tough season this season. Mourinho doesn't seem to trust him that much. But he would be more of a defensive unit for Juve. He averages 0.7 more interceptions and tackles per 90 than Dani Alves, but his creative output is absolutely dreadful. 0.1 chances a game created compared to Alves' 2.2.
That's not great.
The man barely runs upfield. He just stays there.
It's
That's
true.
all he does.
Mourinho
probably goes to him, do not go past the halfway line.
Much like me in 7-a-side. Much like me in 7-a-side. But yeah, that is Mourinho's thing, isn't it? With Valencia obviously bombing forward every game last season.
Indeed. There's also there's one other person they could get. Is Southampton's Cedric. He is more maybe an attacking option. He creates 1.4 chances per 90. But look, it's either or. Like they're not going to be able to replace Dani Alves straight away. They're going to have to get someone that could eventually fill the role over the next couple of seasons. So, but Michael, look, what is happening with Alex Sandro?
So yeah, to compound further bad news for the Juve faithful, as we've already mentioned, Alex Sandro is being very, very heavily linked by Corriere della Sera, the Italian publication, being very, very heavily linked to a move to the Premier League, specifically to link up with former Juve coach Antonio Conte at Chelsea. As shown before, Juve can never turn down, or seem to be very reluctant to turn down, big money moves. Obviously, we saw that with Pogba last year. They reinvested that in Gonzalo Higuain. But yeah, over the years, they have taken big bids from clubs and accepted them. For us, though, does this make sense? It's difficult. At Chelsea, obviously, Marcos Alonso was absolutely fantastic last season. Do they really need Alex Sandro to come in? Obviously, one of the highest rated left-backs in the world. His stats do also provide us with some further impetus to think that maybe Sandro would be a big upgrade on Marcos Alonso. 2 chances created a game, 1.7 tackles and 2.2 interceptions per 90 do trump Alonso's. And he's also marauding down the flank, completing 1.9 take-ons per 90 compared to the Spaniards' 0.7. That is real world-class stats there. But yeah, Juve, like we said, they've managed to replace players such as Vidal, Pogba and Tevez in the last few years very, very effectively. But will losing both of these fullbacks, 2 world-class fullbacks, will it be too much for the old lady to handle? Let us know in the comments below.
On to our next winners, Michael, and it is your beloved Manchester United. And I'm sad, Michael, mate. I'm sad because Nemanja Matic looks set to join you guys. In return, I think we are getting Bakayoko from Monaco for the same amount, about 40 million quid. But look, the Serbian is a very good player. Last season, he was, I guess, in Chelsea's title win, he was very much anonymous compared to the baller that is Kante, who is everywhere. But if you look at his 14-15 stats compared to the season just gone when we won the title, Mourinho to the title now, you can see a big difference and why maybe a move for him is the right decision. In the 14-15 season, he won 2.16 aerial duels compared to the 1.27 last season, and he made 5 tackles and interceptions to last season's 3. So it's a massive difference, and for him, he wants to be playing at the top of his game. So obviously, a move to United, a move back to Mourinho, is an easy option maybe for him. It's the second time he's leaving Chelsea. But Michael, as you are our in-house United fan, seeing as Joe isn't here, tell me, how would he fit into the Red Devil squad?
Well, it is an interesting question, and going on what you were saying there, Zach, yeah, it's kind of, you can kind of see where he might fit in. Mourinho obviously saw him play last year, and in that maybe more static role with Kante moving around more. Maybe this is what he'll be told to do at United. Obviously, Ander Herrera in many ways was Man United's Kante last year, harrying opposition players tirelessly and winning the ball back in almost every position on the pitch, kicking back off attacks. Great at winning the ball back and kicking off attacks. So and with Matic in the side, holding more, playing in that role that Carrick was playing, and obviously Carrick has 1 year left on his contract, but probably won't play again after next season, 36 this year. I can see, Herrera being given a bit more of a license to roam, roam defensively and also attackingly, because we do forget actually Ander Herrera is an exceptional player creatively as well, and hopefully this means that Herrera will be able to push forward a little bit more, help Pogba out a little bit more creatively, which would be great. But is this really the best move for United? I know, like for Matic, I think it is a good move, but £40 million on a 28-year-old isn't necessary. There's no kind of later value. We're never going to get any more money for him. And with our other midfield target this summer, Fabinho, who's still only 23 years old, younger, quicker and more versatile.
Yeah.
Is this really the best move for United in the long term? I'm not actually that sure. But Matic coming in, it looks like we probably would have softened the interest in the Brazilian. And also with Mourinho signing one of his former players. Is this him running out of ideas? Or, as I suspect, Mourinho has an incredibly clear vision of what he wants Matic to do, which is what we've discussed right now. And yeah, I think in the short term, it probably is a very solid move for a player who's been consistently one of the best midfielders in the Prem over the last few years, in my opinion. Anyway,
100%. But what do you guys think? Is Matic a great signing, or is he a bit of iffy from Mourinho? Doesn't know what to do. Let us know in the comments below.
So for our second losers of the week, we go down the road from Manchester to Liverpool. Has there been a mistake here, Zach?
No, look, Salah may have been our winner, but Liverpool are our loser. Liverpool have done well bringing Salah, give them credit for that. But now that move has seen the Merseyside spend over £1 billion since the Premier League started and not won a single title because of it.
Dreadful.
That's insane. Look, for every Fernando Torres, there's been an Andy Carroll. For every Luis Suarez, there's been a Christian Benteke. It's simply unacceptable. A club of Liverpool's stature to go 27 years without winning a top division trophy is literally insane. It's not right and it's unacceptable. Fans should be disappointed in the club. But luckily, I guess they have had some great moments with the Champions League. It's been it's a little sprinkle in there. Yeah. But they need to be winning more. They have to, Michael.
Also, one Champions League doesn't make up for 27 years without a title. I personally don't think so. But the club, obviously has seemed to turn a corner. More recently, the appointment of Jurgen Klopp, probably their most forward-thinking managerial appointment since Rafa Benitez, certainly. And obviously the reshuffling of the infamous transfer committee, which brought in such duds as Stuart Downing, Joe Allen, and Charlie Adam. Maybe Joe Allen being a bit harsh on Joe Allen, I think there. But we can see already that there is more progress being made there now. Being linked with the likes of Naby Keita, Virgil van Dijk, Goulam. That's far higher caliber player than players we have seen go through the Anfield door in recent years. But still, it does bring it home that Liverpool have. Very quietly spent a lot of money on some very bad players over the years.
They need to be doing better. You can't go 27 years without winning a Premier League title and still consider yourselves one of the best in England.
Yeah.
But Liverpool fans will go on and on saying this, but they have to do more, don't they, Mike?
Of course. But what do you guys think at home? Will Jurgen Klopp be the man to bring the title back to Anfield? Let us know in the poll above Zach's head.
Right. Then.
Yes or no?
Our last winner, thank God, is Arsenal. And with the whole Mbappe situation seeming to last the whole of this summer and probably next summer, to be honest, Arsene Wenger is looking at some potential substitutes. But Michael, if he can't land his £100 million plus man, who could he be getting?
Well, word on the street has it that man would be Alexander Lacazette. Reports suggesting that Arsenal submitted a £44 million bid for the striker over the weekend to Lyon. And it's not hard to see why. 28 league goals last term, although 10 of those were penalties. That's nearly over a third. But that does also take his tally in League Earned to 100. That puts him in quite a high bracket of strikers. Definitely a class act. But will he want the move? Obviously, another potential suitor for him is Atletico Madrid, who are serving a transfer ban at the moment. But if he were to wait till January, maybe he would be able to secure that move. And he would also guarantee himself Champions League football if that were the case. But with Diego Costa potentially moving back there once this ban is over, would Atletico really want Lacazette? I would much prefer to have Diego Costa than Lacazette. Having said that, Lacazette's goals to game ratio is pretty fantastic. He averaged 1 goal a game last term, compared to Giroud's also quite impressive 0.89, and Perez's rather less impressive 0.32. Although Lacazette does lack the aerial prowess that Giroud certainly possesses, he has a much more direct approach, and probably my favourite attribute of his is his dribbling. He completes 1.75 take-ons per 90, which is very impressive. That's compared to the pitiful number from Giroud, which is 0.07. But enough about Lacazette. Zach, who is the other potential target for Arsene Wenger this summer?
The other potential replacement for Mbappe could be Manchester United's Anthony Martial, a man who seems to be unfavoured with Mourinho and out of the French side as well. Look, if United would have signed Ivan Perisic or Ivan Perisic, however it's pronounced, this would put Martial even further down the pecking order than he already is. Arsenal are apparently willing to spend £40 million on him, on the 21-year-old, a hefty sum, but a lot cheaper than some of the reports for Mbappe of 100 million plus,
much better value.
120 million plus. I'm going to read some stats. This season just gone, 25 appearances, 4 goals, 6 assists, 43% shooting accuracy. Not great considering he has also come off the bench a lot, much like Olivier Giroud. But in the season before that, 15-16, 31 appearances, 11 goals, 4 assists, 44% shooting accuracy. Better, but he did start more in that season as well, and that was the season when he came from Monaco.
Play more as a centre forward then.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. He's still got it under Mourinho, but the question is, would he flourish under Arsene Wenger, and would he fit in, or would he be a Danny Welbeck version 2? Let us know in the comments below.
So for our final loser this week, we fly down to Bavaria, Renato Sanchez at Bayern Munich. Why is he not a happy bunny at the moment, Zach?
Yes, the 2016 Golden Boy has had a tough season in the past campaign. First, he's had a lack of playing time, and then he's been kicked out of the Portugal squad for the Confederations Cup, and then played with the under-21s instead. All why Bayern still look to shift him on, despite paying a potential €80 million transfer fee last year after the Euros. From having no takers at €35 million, Bayern, according to Kicker, have reduced their asking price to €26 million, a 10 million loss on the fee they initially paid.
It's only one.
Why is no one picking him up?
Yeah.
Like RB Leipzig, mate, just go grab him. But look, why is he being shafted out? Well, they've just signed Corentin Tolisso from Lyon for 35 million quid, and then Rudy on a free. And with that as well as Vidal and Thiago and Kimmich, there's simply no room for him in the squad. But Michael, where could he end up next season?
Well, reports are suggesting that Manchester United and Juventus are circling around the young midfielder, and it's not hard to see why. His box-to-box attributes would suit those two sides far more than Ancelotti's Bayern Munich. The Portuguese averaged just over 2 interceptions tackled per 90 in his limited minutes last season. That is very impressive. Yeah. And his ability to drive through midfield is showcased with 2.6 take-ons per game. That's better than Lacazette, who we were talking about before. He could potentially be a very good foil for Paul Pogba in the Man United midfield, doing more running for him and whatnot, and would also complement the midfield three of Pjanic and Khedira, or joining Pjanic and Khedira to make a midfield three at Juve, as Marquisio unfortunately seems to be looking more and more crippled with chronic injury problems, so there is a place for him in that squad. But what do you guys think? Where do you think he'll end up? More importantly, where do you think would suit him better? Let us know in the comments below.
So some shout outs time. Our first one comes from Chally1000 on Twitter, and he says, losers, Mexico for drawing 1-1 with the Aussies. Yeah, not good. My shout out goes to Reece Oxford, the big man bossing it at Borussia Mönchengladbach next season. Secured that loan move last week. Still only 18. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Let's all the best of luck to you, Reece. 100%. And our last one is Paul Pogba's dab. Now you might have seen this on Twitter. There might be a video on screen now. I'm not too sure. But what do you think? We want to know, is he a winner? Is he a loser for doing this dab while scoring a goal? Let us know in the poll above my head.
Definite winner for me. I'm very pro dab.
God.
So big winner for me.
So that was winners and losers. If you want to be involved next week, let us know by following us on these handles: Zach Jellum, Mikey McCubb.
Tweet us up.
Yes. But Michael, what should they go do next, mate?
Well, they should go and watch yesterday's episode of FFO, a very special episode indeed. Our two beautiful faces. Come and watch us make absolute tits of ourselves while John Babb tries to mediate the melee.
Who wouldn't, mate? Who wouldn't? But as always, guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.